One of the most distinguishing features of a self-defence course is an instructor's insistence that the rulebook needs to be thrown away. He tends to do this to make a distinction between the course and any other martial arts class. So, if you're part of a traditional martial arts class, then it's back to street clothes, no rituals, and all the niceties of custom need to be forgotten. If you're part of a combat sport club, then the rules of a competition need to be forgotten. There are many quotes either from the battlefield or the sporting arena that can testify to the fact that violence is chaos. I often think of the Mike Tyson quote, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth." It's actually an update of Helmuth von Moltke, the Elder's "No plan of operations extends with any certainty beyond the first contact with the main hostile force." Both versions reflect the need to be adaptive and the acceptance of the unknowable. Therefore, we shouldn't be surprised that inside and outside the subculture of martial arts, individuals get lost. We know a clinical approach will yield the best results, but we also instinctively know there's a vast void of unpredictability. When it comes to the business of protecting one's personal front line, that is the study of self-protection, confusion reigns. Today I want to talk to you about that confusion. I want to explore why there is so much misunderstanding when it comes to civilian self-protection, and regardless of whether you're an experienced teacher or student beginner of the martial arts, why I believe it's important to be clear on the matter. A few years ago I received a circular email from a martial arts business agency. At the time I recall feeling a particular sense of smug satisfaction. What marked this circular out from many others they sent out to their clients was it appeared to contain evidence that supported an argument I'd made to them years beforehand in our first meeting. The email contained the results of a survey they'd put out nationwide to martial arts students. Data produced from the survey was supposed to help their clients' martial arts businesses by helping teachers get a better understanding of what their customers expected, wanted and liked. My feeling of vindication was aroused by the results produced from the first question on the survey: why did you take up martial arts? The overwhelmingly popular response to this question was self-defence. I recalled my first meeting with the agency when I was setting myself up in the business of running a martial arts club. I argued that I wanted to promote the self-protection aspect of my classes. After all, this formed the foundation of what I intended to teach. The agency had argued that students did not come to martial arts classes to learn self-protection or self-defence. Fitness, sport, confidence and fun were far more appealing themes that should be addressed in my marketing. They were particularly unhappy with my decision to teach realistic self-defence to children. Here they argued I was undermining parents who believed they were responsible for their child's safety education, be it protection from bullies or protection from abduction. Advertising this at the forefront of a martial arts service challenged the parents' perceived authority or forced them to face uncomfortable truths about the world. Now the agent's own data appeared to reveal what I had said all those years previously. However, this survey information did not necessarily push out the agency's view. After all, the majority of martial arts clubs the world over have done and still do follow the advice that was offered to me. The problem is that the perception the average person has about self-protection is often somewhat misguided. These days I teach private lessons. They either come in the form of small group training, one-to-one personal training or workshops and seminars. This keeps my teaching quite specialised. I often send out a questionnaire before any training begins so that both student and teacher are better prepared for the lesson. A good number of students will say that they want self-defence or self-protection from their training. However, not all students are happy with the way this sort of training is defined. I take my definition of self-protection from Mo Teague and Peter Constantine. I learnt it first from Mo Teague by his hard target course when I was training to become a hard target instructor, and also his SSTTN course as well, which was the predecessor to hard target. Peter Constantine is the head of the British Combat Association and also the author of a book called Streetwise, where this definition I'm about to describe to you comes from. Self-protection can be divided up into personal security, also known as soft skills or non-physical skills, and self-defence, also known as hard skills or physical skills. Of the two, any responsible self-protection teacher will tell you that the personal security part is the most important. This comprises of attitude, situational awareness, understanding the physiology of fear and aggression, a small amount of specific and workable information on criminal psychology and criminology in relation to offender profiling and victim selection, some conflict management skills, some lay knowledge of behavioural science, and the all-important legal side. Now, to the average beginner student, all of this can seem quite daunting. Sadly, it puts off the average person, especially when what attracted them to self-defence in the first place was this view that they would be learning a few clever tricks to get themselves out of a sticky situation, or they'd just be learning how to fight. The self-defence part, that is the physical skills, are short and simple. They should be low maintenance in nature. That is so that once they've been taught a few times, clients will be able to take the techniques home and practice them effectively. Needless to say, the technique should have a high percentage of success with minimal risk to the user. So if you expected to be learning some flamboyant or aesthetically pleasing moves, you're likely to be disappointed. You aren't going to get a lot in the way of clever tricks either. All the low maintenance, high percentage techniques are straightforward, commonsensical and require a reasonable amount of practice. Put it this way, I wouldn't advise attempting to show them off on your father-in-law at the next barbecue.